I mean, they really could. I mean, guys, we're talking Project A. So let's kind of talk about Project A here. I definitely want to talk about it. There were a number of things that were discussed on Twitter. There was also a number of things that have been brought up here that I found incredibly interesting. There was a couple of these tweets that I liked quite a bit of these tweets and such, and I kind of want to go ahead and talk a little bit about it with all of you, because I find that this is something that could be absolutely huge. It could change so much, not only about esports, but just gaming in general. Riot Games is making an aggressive approach to be taking over. It really feels like take over esports. I mean, for real. I mean, it really does. So here we go once again. We are going to check this out, guys. So obviously, there was a number of different tweets that I liked. Rod Breslow, or also known as Slasher. We're just gonna go by Slasher, guys. Right? He tweeted a bunch of stuff, and I liked some of those things, and because I think that he's a very good source within the esports and just gaming community when it comes to, he'll post different things, and I think a lot of the things that he says regarding, especially what he's talking about with Riot Games and what they're doing, I got to agree with some of the stuff he's saying. But anyways, he tweeted out saying Riot Games will announce a new digital card game titled Legends of Runeterra during the League of Legends 10th anniversary event today, which obviously that was something that already happened. He says that Riot Games is also developing an anime set in the world of League of Legends, also to be announced. So a lot of this was obviously things that were announced, right? Dexterdo tweeted, posting that, it was set to announce a digital card game, it was a really big deal. And I would highly recommend, guys, if you haven't already seen the live stream or the VOD of that live stream that Riot put together, the 10th anniversary edition of League of Legends was absolutely incredible. I would highly recommend checking it out. So this is where it gets interesting. Riot Games now has League of Legends, the biggest video game in the world, teamfight tactics, an FPS game, fighting game, card game. Riot making a run to be the king of esports, and they very well might do it. I can't really disagree with this. They're certainly making a run to be the king of esports. I mean, they may even be making a run to be just like the monopoly within gaming. I mean, it's very hard to say, but that being said, I got to agree with this statement overall. They very well might do it, guys. I mean, it's very hard to say. Now, Riot FPS is internally codenamed Ares. It is a spiritual successor to Counter-Strike. Oh man, a spiritual successor to Counter-Strike. And this was something that was also very interesting about this, guys. Riot has had several current and former pro CS players and former pro Overwatch players try out and playtest Project Ares over the past year, which has been in development for several years, sources said. They have all given it nearly unanimous praise. Guys, Project Ares, Project A, whatever you want to call it, the spiritual successor to Counter-Strike, the rival to Counter-Strike, the rival to Overwatch, the rival to Call of Duty, this game could be that. And I think when we talk about like the first-person shooters, we probably are mainly, talking about Counter-Strike, because that's kind of the biggest game within esports when it comes to a first-person shooter, right? But this is something, guys. This is certainly something that could really turn the tide of esports, or really just first-person shooters as well. Like, let's just talk, about that Project A or Project Ares. I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to say that it's going to be the next big esport. It's going to be the next big esport. And when we talk big esports, guys, this is a huge task. that Riot is about to, that is obviously, they're obviously going through with it. I would hate to see that this game get canceled or something like that somewhere within development, right? But I gotta say that this has quickly become on the top of my list of most anticipated games coming at some point in the future. And when I say that was up there with Death Stranding. When Death Stranding was announced, The Last of Us 2, when that was announced, those became my most anticipated games that we didn't know when they were coming out. And obviously it was, when those were announced, it was a few years ago, and now we're finally going to be getting Death Stranding. We're finally going to be getting The Last of Us 2. I feel like this is a game that's kind of taken that place of Death Stranding, The Last of Us 2. It's kind of up there with like Max Payne 4. Because I'm just really anticipating, like I'm hoping that a Max Payne 4 comes out. It hasn't been announced yet, but something like that, GTA 6. Some of these games that haven't even been announced yet that are on my anticipated list. This has gone to the top because it's been announced that Project A or Project Ares is coming, and we saw footage of it, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I mean, really, I am so excited to see more of this. What do you guys think, though? Do you guys think that Project Ares, is it going to compete with the likes of CSGO? Is it going to compete with the likes of Overwatch and the Call of Duty League? Obviously, we don't know how the Call of Duty League is going to be and how big that's going to be, but could it compete with those games in a way where it almost takes over? I would say, guys, that there is a very good chance that could happen. I just wouldn't be surprised. This is a game that looks to me, it really does look like a spiritual successor to CSGO. Now, I'm not saying that the graphics look better or anything like that. I think the graphics, let's see what it looks like, next year. Are the graphics going to improve, or are they going to kind of stick with that type of cartoony kind of look? I mean, I guess it's not really even cartoony. It does look a little bit like CSGO. It looks a little bit like Overwatch. There's things that obviously it's in the very early stages, right? I think. I mean, I know it's been in development for a few years, but I'm sure that it's not, I would say we're probably not going to, can't really expect to see Project Ares until, we would be lucky to see it in 2020. I would say 2021, maybe even 2022. I would say 2021 is probably when we'll see it. It sounds like there might be a beta in maybe 2020, and then 2021 we get like that, we start seeing a ton of footage and we really get a feel for it. And maybe it just goes into an alpha stage, goes into a beta stage, and then of course we get the game. It's really hard to say, especially with Riot, because we don't really have a track record here. The only thing that we've got is League of Legends. So that's not a whole lot to go by. I mean, they've been very consistent with League of Legends. They listen to the community. They do a very good job of that. I just don't know, though. Are they going to move is it going to be kind of a quick, after they announce it, are they going to really get this thing rolling to a point where it comes out in the next year? Or, sooner than that? It's very hard to tell. I feel like all of these things that they announced are not going to be coming out. Some of them will probably come out in 2020. Others, I think, are going to come out in 2021. I think even others may even come out in 2022. It's hard to say. I would love to hear from you guys what you guys think about that. Do you think that we're going to be seeing the Project Ares next year? Or are we, obviously we're going to be seeing it, but is it going to be like, are we going to be able to play it? Are we going to be able to play a beta? Are we going to be able to actually just buy the game, download the game? Is it going to be free to play? Is it going to be, one of those games where you have to pay to play it? We just don't know. But all I got to say is that it looks very good. It looks very interesting, I should say. Out of everything, it's got me very excited because it looks a little bit like Overwatch, but it looks more like CSGO. And it just looks, it's got esport title written all over it. It's got a big esport. It's got like big esport is coming soon. Valve, you better figure it out and quick, because this game is coming. And I think what that's going to end up doing, guys, is it's going to force Valve and other game publishers, whether that be Activision, Blizzard, whoever it is to start really kind of, if these games don't have much competition, like if Valve doesn't have much competition with CS and they don't really care that much about, updating the game or updating the graphics or making a CSGO 2 or just, whatever, CS2, they need to start getting a move on it, because this is showing us that they are here to compete, and they are here, not only just to compete, but to try to take over, whether we are talking about, Project Ares, or if we're talking about the card game, Legends of Runeterra. They are trying to take over, and there is a significant push at that, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys all think in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you guys as far as that's concerned, as far as Project Ares. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that this is going to be the next CSGO? Do you think it's going to be bigger than CSGO? Do you think it's going to be the next COD or the next Overwatch? How do you think it's going to coexist within these other games that are out there? I feel like I trust Riot. They've done a really good job with Legends, League of Legends. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they, bring it on. Let's see what they've got when it comes to a first-person shooter. I'm all in. You guys know me. I love first-person shooters. I want to see it. I want to see what they got.